Good evening, folks. Silver here. Today we have two short but interesting Pokemon-related creepypastas. What are these stories exactly? Let's find out. Also, before we begin, only a small percentage of you that listen to these stories are actually subscribed. So, if you end up enjoying this narration, please consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. With that, enjoy the story. Number 1. No Cheating by Grumpy Ninja. Only use your Pokemon to fight, and never attack opponents directly. That was the first thing the admins told every Team Rocket grunt as soon as they signed on to the organization. Why exactly this was a rule at all, much less the most important one, was a mystery. But the stern, steely demeanor it was always said with allowed for no argument. However, no amount of intimidation could stop rumors from spreading. Some said that it was to avoid getting blood on our uniforms. Others said it was to make the team seem less of a threat. Boris? He didn't believe any of it. "I'm telling you, the boss has gone soft," he ranted, slamming his fist into the mess table. His partner Liz winced at the sound of plates rattling. "Team Rocket was feared back in my day. They weren't afraid of hurting people." Liz sighed. She'd heard this tirade time after time, and no matter how many times she told him, the Team Rocket just seemed less scary to a hardened criminal than a kid. He kept saying the same thing. Apparently, he'd once heard that his friend's uncle's co-worker had been killed by a grunt. She knew better than to say anything at this point. It was just as Boris was about to continue that an alarm blared, accompanied by flashing red lights. "Intruder in the southern building. All units to your stations. This is not a drill," said the voice on the intercom. "I repeat, intruder in the southern building. All units." Liz tuned it out as she and Boris sprinted down the hallway to get to their designated location. Boris was still mumbling something or another. Crotchety old man. When they got there, Liz almost missed the intruder at first. It was Boris who saw her first. "Seriously? They sent us all off some kid?" A girl with pigtails, probably about 12, walked through the halls. She looked straight ahead at all times. Her expression, calm as could be. Empty almost. Liz raised her eyebrow. She'd be the first to battle the girl, but she was fairly confident she'd be able to take her down. When the girl turned to face her, Liz sent out her Raticate. The girl sent out a Croconaw. "Hyper Fang!" Croconaw sidestepped a moment too late. Raticate's teeth sunk into its side, and Liz smirked. Her satisfaction was short-lived, however. The girl didn't seem fazed at all, and Croconaw looked more annoyed than hurt. She whistled and clapped, signaling something, and Croconaw slammed Raticate into the floor with a crushing Aqua Tail. Liz grit her teeth as the Pokemon stood, injured. She wouldn't have sent Raticate in such a vulnerable position if she'd known how little damage Hyper Fang would have done. "Focus energy!" A critical hit might get her out of this situation. Without another word said by the girl, just a series of claps, Croconaw charged forwards, mist trailing from its mouth. The Ice Fang landed before Raticate had a chance to do anything else. The furry Pokemon toppled over, crying out weakly before Liz returned it to its Pokeball. "Golbat, go! Use Air Slash!" As soon as it was sent out, Golbat whipped up a stream of air and deftly shot it at Croconaw. Croconaw seemed to be hurt more than it was by Hyper Fang. It stumbled back a few steps, and its breathing looked heavy. Still, the girl's face remained neutral. Croconaw's Ice Fang missed Golbat by a hair, and Golbat was able to hit with Wing Attack. Still, Croconaw stood, and a critical hit from Ice Fang knocked out Golbat in one hit. Liz recalled her Pokemon, assuming the girl would go on. Instead, she held out her hand as if expecting Liz to give her something. "What do you want?" Liz's tone was flat, more like a statement than a question. The girl took a coin from her pocket with her other hand, gesturing more forcefully with the one that was already out. "Fine," Liz hissed, handing the girl a bit of change. Without so much as a smile, the girl put her prize money away and continued. Boris was next. "You can't just disrespect Team Rocket like that. I'm gonna crush you," he shouted. The girl ended up crushing him with her jump fluff. Once again, she held out her hand for prize money. "Why you?" Boris fumed. You go around humiliating me and my partner, and now you expect me to give you money? The girl nodded, impassive as ever. Boris pulled back his fist with a roar. He threw the punch, and for a split second, Liz saw into the fourth dimension. And now, Boris was screaming, steam rising from his eye sockets. His punch stopped, cold, in midair. Something jittered just under his skin. He collapsed after an agonizing moment, dead before he hit the floor. In two voices, the girl spoke. No cheating. Number 2. Fairy Horror by Odd-Eyed. Do you believe in fairies? Well, I didn't before, but now I do. They're not just small people or animals with wings. They can do more than just kindness. Are you doubting? I saw it myself, and I'm going to explain it all to you. In Pokemon X and Y, I used to be a 1-type trainer, the typical dragon-type trainer. I've never talked or interacted with the other girls. They're too girly, always preferring to use fairy types. And if you play Pokemon, you probably know that Dragon's weaknesses is a fairy type. Also, I've never minded about it because dragons are such majestic creatures, while fairies are only small people with pink dresses and wings on their back. And I shouldn't have ignored them like that. One day, I was hunting a shiny Bagon to evolve it into a Salamence. While hunting, I found an Eevee. I've never seen a female Eevee in the game at all. I thought it was just a legend. Her fur was all white. Stars appeared over her. She was a shiny female Eevee, and she was level 22. I threw about 10 Ultra Balls and the capture failed. My Dragonite's health was almost 0, and I wanted to hurry up. So, I threw my last Ultra Ball. 1 wiggle. 2 wiggle. 3 wiggles. Gotcha. I wasn't planning to evolve her because Eevee doesn't have a dragon evolution. I'd probably just put her in a box or breed her with a Ditto. Maybe if I got more shinies, I could trade them for legendaries. But she was so cute that I didn't put her in a box or the daycare. She was so cute that every day I cuddled her and gave her Pokepuffs, until the day that she learned a fairy attack. I tried to deny it, but she only had 3 attacks, and you can only deny if a Pokemon has 4. So, I was condemned to accept. Recently, my friend challenged me to a battle. Almost all of her team was fairy type. She beat my whole team, so my last Pokemon was Eevee. I really didn't want to level Eevee up, or she would evolve into a Sylveon. And Sylveon is a fairy type. Sadly, my friend's last Pokemon was a ghost Pokemon, and normal Pokemon are immune to ghost attacks. I told my friend to use a non-ghost attack, but it was impossible because her Haunter only had ghost attacks. I used a non-normal attack, but Haunter's HP was slowly falling until it reached 0. Yeah, I had won the battle. Eevee had leveled up, and then the evolution screen appeared. Eevee was glowing, and white fireflies were flying over her. She was evolving, and she evolved into a Sylveon. I was so angry that I put the Sylveon on Wonder Trade. And have a guess what I received? A shiny Bagon. I couldn't believe it. His green body just made me happier. I was so happy that I immediately went to Pokemon and Me and gave him a Pokepuff. After many happy moments, I started to hunt a shiny Axew in the grass. I again found the wrong shiny. It had blue fur, 2 bows, level 23, and guess what? It was a shiny Sylveon. I was sure that it was the same Sylveon who had traded away on Wonder Trade. What will Bagon do? I realized that Bagon only had 2 attacks, Growl and Dragon Claw. Since Sylveon is a fairy type, I'm probably unable to feint her. I tried to run, but can't escape. I was condemned to wait for Sylveon to kill my Bagon. Sylveon used Helping Hand. Bagon is trusting Sylveon. Ah, Bagon. Why would you trust in the fairy type? You're a dragon. Sylveon used Moonblast. Bagon fainted. Ellen whited out. I, as normal, went to the Pokemon Center. But when I tried to heal my Pokemon, Joy said this, "But there's no Pokemon to heal. I hope you excel." Wait, what happened to my Bagon? Was it a helping hand effect? I looked at my team and there was nothing on it. I wonder how it's possible for me to play without Pokemon. But I thought it'd be fun, so I walked away from the center like normal. When I did, a double battle began. Well, there was a blue furred Sylveon and a pink furred Pokemon with green ears. A shiny Clefable. But how would I battle without Pokemon? Sylveon used Last Resort, but there are no Pokemon on the battlefield. Clefable used Double Slap, but there are no Pokemon on the battlefield. Ellen fled. After fleeing, I got teleported into a grey place with a lot of mist. Only Sylveon was there. I walked next to Sylveon and interacted with her, and she said the following. "I know you didn't want me to evolve. I'm so sorry. Master, can you forgive me?" Another battle began. I thought I would have no usable Pokemon again, but I was wrong. There was a level 35 Nidoqueen on my team. How lucky I was. Fairy's weakness is poison. She had Poison Jab, Hidden Power, Confide, and Disable. What will Nidoqueen do? Nidoqueen used Hidden Power. Sylveon's HP slowly dropped to 1. Nidoqueen used Disable. Sylveon's Moonblast is disabled. Nidoqueen used Confide. Sylveon is trapped. After that, the game crashed and turned off. I turned it on again and tried to continue, but every time I tried, this message appeared. Game over. Sylveon fainted. Nidoqueen won 0 XP. Now, I believe in Fairy's potential. And I'm now a Fairy and Dragon type trainer. Oh, I forgot to mention, after starting a new game, my team was filled with unknowns. And they spelt Fairy. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the story. We're at the end of this one, but there are plenty more you might not have heard yet. So here are some options. My entire Pokepasta playlist, or a story that YouTube thinks you'll like from me. With all that said, I hope you leave a like, maybe a comment, and if you want to hear more, subscribe with notifications to get the latest stories as soon as they're available.